In 2015, if someone told you the Five Nights at Freddy series would look like this now, would you believe them? Now, there's been some people asking, is Five Nights at Freddy's a dead franchise? And there's a simple answer to that. No. I mean, you got movies coming out, constant games, people talking about it, you got backpacks, Freddy Fazbear in your backpack. I think a lot of those questions come from a generational burnt out. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those generational types of games. It goes down. And so what are we gonna do? I'm gonna point out these generational burnt outs. Yep, I'm gonna really figure out where the series is and where the series was. Okay. So the one thing I want to start out with is showing you the first game to their current game. Don't do it, Jackie! So how am I gonna break this video down? Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's was released this time, and oh, spooky, spooky. Nah, I'm gonna save you the bullshit, and we're just gonna start at Five Nights at Freddy's 1. The simple things that made Five Nights at Freddy's good was the horror, the ambience, you know, that ambience was probably the selling point of the horror. The Easter eggs, the small little Easter eggs, not only sparked the biggest success in Scott Cawthon's history, but really defined the generation before now. I'm not gonna review the game, and I'm not gonna break down the games. We all know the games. But the fucking Markiplier, man, the Matt Pat attack, the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, and made Scott Cawthon one happy man. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out pretty quickly after. He didn't even stop. I mean, he was jerking off daily thinking about that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 money, so it dropped. And you know what? It blew everyone's mind. I was a little kid back then, now I'm an old man. You had the teasers, you had the trailer, everyone was excited to see the animatronics, everyone is excited for the new game. Matt Pat started making his videos, those theory videos that really started to take off around Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and Markiplier came back and all the other YouTubers came back, and the game started to build this story that was phenomenal. Because yeah, it really started to reach its prime around the second installment. And the teasers, they only got better, and the story and lore really started kicking in. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came around, and people were conflicted. I hate to say it, but personally, I think 3 and 4 is when it really started going downhill, and especially everything after that. But I definitely noticed a decline in the gameplay for me around the 3rd and 4th game. But do not mix gameplay up with story, because oh boy, did I still love the story more than ever. It's part of the nostalgia pack. It's just, I felt a decline at that time. I noticed that. And other people did too. To the people who say that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is the best Five Nights at Freddy's game there is, shame on you. Yes, shame on you. Oh yeah, don't forget people, like and subscribe. And of course, Matt Pat came around again. He just had to come back in town, give you another theory. Did you know that Markiplier came back too? You wouldn't believe it, but he really did. And every other YouTuber who was doing Five Nights at Freddy's at the time, they came back for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Scott Cawthon is great at giving you a story he doesn't even know the end to. So that's how he always wins. He loops you over and over and over again, and Matt Pat keeps feeding that, and it was a beautiful cycle for those days, a truly amazing cycle. And then me and my buddies, we get really stoked because Five Nights at Freddy's 4 comes out. Coconut, coconut. Yeah, we're sitting in the goddamn cafeteria lunchroom in school with the fucking computers, brightening up the images on the teasers, just to see whatever pops up. It was always the hype of the Five Nights at Freddy's launch. I don't know if I cared more about the story or the game more, I don't know, but I do know there was always that hype around school back in those days. Now, I could easily get a lot more in depth, but let's just put it out there. There's some fundamentals that are clearly different about what we have now versus what we had then. Besides Help Wanted, the other Five Nights at Freddy's games that are coming out could easily be fan games for all I care. But I most certainly don't want you to mistake the term fan games as bad games, as they're not bad games. A lot of them are fun. I mean, except FNAF World, we won't talk about that. I mean, I'm a little curious on Five Nights at Freddy's Mario Kart, but hey, for all I know, we might get the most secrets revealed, the entire vault opened right there and then on Five Nights at Freddy's Mario Kart. Into the Pit was based off the books, I believe. I didn't really get into all the books. I feel like at that point, the cow, the nipples, I couldn't touch those desiccated nipples anymore. Couldn't drink that milk. And so the Secrets of the Mimic is being developed by Steel Wool, who did make Help Wanted, and they're going to add a VR adaptation soon. I'll play it with the VR adaptation. I'm going to play with the VR adaptation. It looks kind of fun. I want to play with the VR adaptation. But the point still stands. I guess I'm so used to the sitting down and clicking at a screen that these games feel like those fan games you used to see. Especially the Mimic. It's good, right? But it reminds me of the, I can't remember. There's a fan game where the animatronics run around and you have to hide from them and stuff. It's kind of with that quality, just more quality. And of course, the lore, right? They're packed in there. The lore is that lore. That Scott Cawthon hook. Got us by the fucking nipples. And apparently the Secret of the Mimic is gonna be a solution to like all the other Five Nights at Freddy's games before this or something. I have no idea anymore. I know there's hardcore lore masters out there. Maybe educate me in the comments. I'm a feeble old player here. They're just different. It's most certainly not the same. It's at a point where, yes, there's still a huge fan base and hype around the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, but the days of brightening up images, going through source codes, all that shit before, where'd that go? That went down the toilet with the cow's milk. Before you go, wait a minute, Buster. There's people still doing theories. Yeah, there is. But the burnt out is real. This isn't just me getting older and ranting that the birds don't look the same as they used to. No, it really has changed. It has. And a lot of people feel that. This video is for me, this video is for them, and this video is generally just to kind of look at Five Nights at Freddy's as a not super great retrospective, but just as a whole, really. And I'll repeat again, the series is not dead, but what it was is very much dead. And why? MatPat's gone. Markiplier doesn't give two shits anymore. Whoa, man, don't bring Markiplier into this. Okay, alright, fine, Markiplier. Let's just talk about the game. The game isn't the same, and the story gets retconned so much you can't even follow through because you got not only games, but books and movies, and fucking Ronald McDonald might be giving us secrets for all we know. I don't know where this story and lore is coming from. What I do know, the story for me ended with Ultimate Custom Night. The purple guy in hell and the golden bear fucking child, the dead child is haunting him forever, and they're both kind of in hell. After all this time, that's my ending. I know he retconned that. Scott Cawthon, of course, is gonna retcon that. But that's an okay ending, I guess. I mean, you gotta have an ending at some point. There used to be this old joke in the early FNAF series, like Freddy in space, like FNAF 57 or some shit. It was a good little joke Scott Cawthon threw back in the day. But now, it's practically a prophecy. I'm Old Man Consequences telling you how it is. But where I am right now is skipping sister location. I'm going to be skipping, well, I don't know, every other freaking game that I didn't mention. And this has been another blast from the past with Pete Bankman. Alright, catch you later.
He makes money off you. A phone got calls and they diddle to the walls and find you